Right, there has been 2 days of Diddy jury deliberations. Let's talk about it.
We have a verdict from the jury. In the Sean Diddy Combs trial, we're told they sent a note just a few moments ago that the jury has reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. They are unable to reach a verdict on count 1 as we have jurors with unpersuadable opinions on both sides.
So what do you guys think? Y'all think he's going to be found guilty on all counts? 2 counts, 3 counts, 4 counts, 1 count? There's 5 counts that's the jury are deliberating. The jury has actually said today that they have reached an agreement on 4 of the 5 counts, but they cannot figure out they have not came to a decision on racketeering. So let me know in the comments on what count y'all think that he will be found guilty on. Counts 1 is racketeering. Counts 2 and 3 are sex trafficking, one regard with Cassie and the second regard Jane Doe. The third count is with prostitution across state lines. So I'm about to get into what I think. And like I said earlier, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Count 1, racketeering, I think he's going to be found not guilty. Reason being, I know that he ran a very big company. He paid a lot of employees to do things. However, usually in racketeering cases, I'm not a lawyer in New York. I'm a lawyer in Mississippi. But just basic research in racketeering cases, you usually see like racketeering and conspiracy, and you see more than one defendant. And I just don't think they're proven enough for racketeering. I could be wrong, but that's just my initial thoughts when it comes to racketeering charge. Count 2, sex trafficking with Cassie. Okay, this case is different. It's like sex trafficking in the sense that we don't traditionally think in. You think about somebody getting kidnapped, which I think that's in the jury instructions under racketeering. I think he met some of the elements of sex trafficking. He paid people across state lines to have sex. But I think because of the jury, not because of the law, because of the people in the jury, they may see what he did as not actual sex trafficking, even though he was paying people to come across state lines to have sex. So I think he doesn't found guilty of count 2. And count 3, I think because it's a Jane Doe, I think he's not going to be found guilty of that one as well, because most people, they don't, I ain't got no big explanation for count 3. I just don't think because he's going to be found guilty of that one because of Cassie. Not found guilty of Cassie. But counts 4 and 5, the Man's Transportation Act, they're basically paying people for prostitution across state lines. I think that it was a lot of good proof for that, and I think he's going to be found guilty for counts 4 and 5. So, because there was a lot of testimony of him paying people, flying people in across state lines and out of the country to, perform sex acts, basically prostitution. Even though it just sounded like they was having freak-offs and having a good time, at the end of the day, you can't pay people to have sex. People may argue people doing it indirectly all the time. And so, again, though, the jury, not the law, the jury could look at it without looking at it from a law perspective and say, hey, I don't see nothing wrong with him paying such money to come do this. And they agreed to it. They wanted, she wanted to come across state lines and do that. They was all down for it. Nobody, was harmed outside that time, Cassie. And I'm sure it had real time where Cassie was assaulted. But that's not on trial today. That's not on trial in this situation. This is about sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution across state lines. So I do think he'd be found guilty of counts 4 and 5. And, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And, do I feel like he did something wrong morally? He was just living a wild life, and morally, I feel like you should be living that life morally. I like that. But I'm just a simple guy from Mississippi. Do I feel like he did something wrong criminally? I think, he was paying prostitutes across state lines. And so those are my 2 cents. I just want to make a quick video about this. I'm excited to see the verdict like everybody else is. I'm not excited to see somebody go to jail. I hate seeing people go to jail. But some people deserve to go to jail. I don't want people to think, oh, he's just excited to see black man go to jail. Nah, it ain't that. I like law stuff. I like sports. I like watching sports outcomes. I like law. I like watching law outcomes. So again, like I said the last 5-10 times, comment what y'all think is going to happen below. To sum up, I think he's going to be found guilty on 2 of the 5 counts. They still have to keep deliberating because they announced today on Tuesday, July 1st, that they can only come to a conclusion on 4 of the 5 counts. So the judge ordered, hey, go back in there, finish it out. I think the not sex trafficking, the prostitution, the Man's Act, prostitution over state line, carries a maximum of 10 years. So he might get that and don't even get that much time. And he probably gonna get some time served as well. So I think Diddy might be out of jail for like 5 years. So we will see. We will see, guys. All right. Thank you guys. And I'll see you on the next one.